Episode 6, The Spark Within, Enki's Hidden Code. We've explored gods who came from the sky. We've seen cities rise, floods fall, and kings trace their power to blood, not of this earth. But now, we turn inward. What if the most advanced technology in human history isn't made of silicon or metal? What if it's you? Flesh, blood, and cells. In this episode, we uncover what Enki may have hidden inside us: a dormant code, a divine spark, or an ancient activation key, deliberately suppressed by the matrix systems built to keep you asleep with your eyes open. Is there a hidden genetic blueprint of the gods? According to the Sumerian tablets, Enki didn't simply create humans. He experimented and engineered us. He blended Anunnaki DNA with early hominids, designing a being capable of working, adapting, and eventually enhanced us in thinking independently. But why stop there? Some texts suggest Enki embedded a kind of backup code, a latent potential, invisible to the naked eye, but present in every cell. Could this be the origin of what mystics call the third eye, the Christ consciousness, kundalini, the pineal gateway, or simply free will? In modern terms, it could be an epigenetic potential, traits not activated by biology alone, but by consciousness. Interesting fact is that in Eden, a serpent tells Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge. Could the serpent be the symbolic spark? Are these misunderstood symbols? Religion says it was sin, but what if it was activation? The serpent has always been Enki's good symbol of wisdom, DNA, and duality. In the caduceus of medicine, two serpents still spiral around a staff, a double helix actually the shape of DNA. In Hinduism also, the kundalini serpent rises from the spine to awaken divine awareness. In Egypt, the uraeus, the cobra on Pharaoh's crown, symbolized sovereignty and cosmic sight. These weren't warnings. They looked more like manuals. Enki wasn't tempting humans. He was awakening them to a higher level. As a scientist, a logical step forward for the development of his creation. Let's break it down. What did Enki embed? Enki may have programmed us with 1. Creative consciousness, the ability to imagine, create, invent, and question reality. 2. Emotional complexity, the basis for empathy, feelings, and a higher, ever-growing intelligence. 3. Access to divine frequencies through sound, rhythms, and resonance. 4. Multidimensional awareness, the latent ability to tap into daydreams, visions, and higher knowledge. 5. Self-awareness, not just to survive, but to evolve into taking our own responsibility as a sovereign. This is what religions may be later called the soul, the divine spark, or the image of God. But Enlil didn't like it at all. After the flood, knowledge was tightly controlled. Enlil wanted suppression and the war on inner knowledge. Therefore, scribes became priests, temples became bureaucracies, mystery schools were shut down, and anyone claiming inner knowing was burned, exiled, or labeled a heretic. Why? Because awakening the spark meant you no longer needed priests, kings, or gods. You became sovereign. That's why Gnostics were hunted. That's why Jesus, Buddha, and countless prophets were suppressed or distorted. They preached that God is within, a truth that made systems of control obsolete. Question: could the spark today be dormant or awake again? Well, modern science now confirms something remarkable. Over 90% of human DNA is called junk DNA. We don't know what it does. The pineal gland responds to vibration, light, and electromagnetic fields. Epigenetics shows trauma and potential can be passed on and activated by environment and thought. Brain waves, heart coherence, and resonance are measurable and trainable nowadays. Are we just beginning to rediscover what Enki encoded in us? Some believe global awakening isn't random, but that it is timed, cyclical, triggered by planetary alignments, solar cycles, or even Nibiru's return. This vision might create a new and great inversion. Who's the real villain? Is the modern Bible correct? Many religions later painted the serpent as evil, painted obedience as virtue, and demonized inner knowledge as dangerous. But when you flip the narrative, a different story emerges. The devil, or Lucifer, was the bringer of light and wisdom. The initial god was a jealous ruler trying to contain it. The so-called sin was the first act of sovereignty. Enki gave us curiosity. Enlil just wanted compliance. And history, was deliberately rewritten by Enlil's priests. The interesting question is, do we contain sleeping god cells or code within our DNA? If Enki gave us the divine spark, the question is not, when will the gods return? It's, when will we remember and discover that we are their incredible legacy? All the cells in your body are actually a huge library. Then our DNA could be the circuit board, and our consciousness the interface. Our ancient controllers don't fear demons. They fear humans as a species activating their inner powers. This was episode 6, the unveiling of the spark within. In episode 7, we meet the Watchers again, the fallen angels, or rogue Anunnaki, who continued Enki's rebellion, and who paid the price for teaching humans what the gods wanted hidden. Subscribe. Share this with those ready to wake up, because inside you, something ancient is stirring.